Hello everybody, welcome to day 7 of our cactus challenge. Okay, starting with your pencil, we're going to do a long thin tray to put this one in. Little curve on the outline. Okay, and then this is going to be a very spiky cacti with several projections. So if you don't get them all in, don't worry, just do as many as you want. Okay, so there we go. I think I'll put another one just there. And these leaves are going to have stripes on them. Now, you can either draw them in or you can paint them. You don't necessarily have to draw them. You can just paint them in. Do them in different places on each leaf so that they don't look too rigid. You can even put a slight curve on some of them, like this. Hope you're enjoying this lovely frosty weather. I've just walked the dog down the common. It's absolutely beautiful down there. Great for taking photographs if you're a wannabe photographer. Again, if you would like to soften your lines, then just lightly rub out with a putty rubber like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to paint this one purple and yellow. No, yes, yellow, purple and yellow. So the best thing to do with watercolour is to paint the lighter colour first. So this is a different technique if you're not used to watercolour. So what you do is you paint the yellow over the whole thing. So I'm using a nice bright cadmium yellow here. If you want to use a different shade of yellow, then go ahead. It's up to you. I know that in some watercolour sets you've got cadmium yellow and lemon yellow. I don't know whether that's coming out very well on the camera. It's not as bright as it should be really, but okay. So nice yellow tone. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dry it off and we'll put the stripes over the top. And because the stripes are darker in tone than the yellow, you can get away with doing it this way. It's actually much easier than painting around those stripes. Okay, and while we're waiting for that to dry, we can do the pot. And the pot is going to be orange. Again, if you want to change colours, go ahead. And because I haven't gone too far down with the yellow, I can get away with just painting this orange straight up to the cacti. And I've just added a little blob of water to my brush to make it slightly lighter. So this is called a graduated colour. So it's lighter at the bottom than it is at the top, like that. Can you see how nice that looks? Okay, dry it off. If you've got a hairdryer, if you haven't, blow on it. Okay, and the next thing to do is to put those stripes on. So I'm going to do the stripes in purple, like I said, and hopefully this is dry enough. Now you can just gently touch the surface of your painting and sort of look at your finger and see if it's still wet or not. The other thing you can do is just move your paper around And if it's still shiny, then that means it's still wet. So in with a detail brush and paint those purple stripes on. Now, because you've got yellow underneath, the purple will be affected. This is called a glaze. So you put in a colour on top of another colour, and because it's transparent, the watercolour is transparent, that means you can see through it. The colour that's sitting on top will react with the colour that's underneath. So you'll end up with a purple which is affected by the yellow. So it will be slightly muted in tone than it would be if it was just sitting on its own on top of the white paper. So if you wanted it to be really bright purple colour, then you could leave little gaps of white and paint the purple onto those little gaps, and you'd get a completely different colour. But that's up to you if you want to do that. So here we're going with our stripes, just slowly filling those stripes in and adding more if you want to add more. I think it's good to look at the balance once you've done a few and just add in a few extras and even put a little bit of colour on some of the tips. Maybe one there, one there, I think. Not do tips because then it starts looking a bit like an illustration. We'll put another one there, I think. Okay, now if you want to strengthen those colours up, how are we doing for time? 7 minutes. Brilliant. We're getting quicker. You can put a second layer on top if you want them to be stronger. It might be that you just do this on some of the stripes, put an extra layer, and this is just again glazing, laying one colour on top of another. That's what it's called, glazing. But what will happen is as you lay more down, the watercolour becomes less and less transparent. So it starts to form a solid surface. And sometimes it's quite nice to have some that are semi-transparent and some that are starting to become a little bit more opaque. Okay, I might do, no, I think I'm going to leave that one. I might just do another tip on this one. Okay, let's add just some bits of soil. I think we've got time to do that. Just a little bit of brown just on the inside of this pot. Break it up so it's not too rigid. Just on the inside. And maybe we can put a little bit of shadow using a red on one side of this pot. How are we doing? 9 minutes? Great. And then again, just add a touch of water to your brush and blend that into the rest of your pot. Slowly add in a little bit more water as you come around the edge. That's it. Actually, I might put a touch more red there. I hope you're enjoying these sessions. Let me know. Send me some pictures. I've had a few already, but it would be great to see a few more. Just take a picture with your camera phone and then email them to me at sheridanjulianne@gmail.com. Okay, And there we are. That's for 10 minutes. You can add more detail onto this cactus if you want to. I think I might put a little bit of shade just down one side. So if you take up the yellow again and just, oops, not a big blob like that. You can add just extra bits of tone just down the sides of your leaves like that, just to give it a little bit more 3D. I hope you've enjoyed it. Share it with your friends, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye. They're almost like fingers, aren't they?